Hey guys, I hope everybody's doing great. So tonight we continue our conversation about brands. And tonight we're going to be talking about the difference between a hobby and a brand and a business. And trust and believe, it is three totally different things because some of you guys think you have a business, you actually have a hobby. And some of you guys that think you have a brand, you actually have a business. Okay, I want you to let that sink in. And no tea, no shade, because every time I talk about this, people tend to get upset. But you don't have to have a broke brand. If you're running around making excuses as to why your business is not making money right now, you probably have a business and not a brand. Because even during Corona, brands continue to find a way to adapt and generate revenue. I don't know if you guys have seen the commercial yet or not, where they talk about don't have mask breath. Make sure you use a mint before you put your mask on. And if you saw how quickly brands adapted to what was relevant in the culture, what was relevant in people's lives, if you see how quickly, brands develop, let's hashtag stay home, hashtag stay home together, we're in this together, while businesses continue to do the same thing and people with hobbies just probably stop. So if you're making excuses about why your brand is not making money, this is the right conversation for you, because your brand, regardless as to what is going on in the world, should have the resiliency and the ability to adapt so that you continue to serve who you were destined to serve. And that's the difference between a hobby, a business, and a brand. So let's talk about why you should not be building a broke brand. And I want to remind you, if you need our help to rebrand your business, time is running out. Go to bit.ly/freewomenapp 2020 to get your name in the head for our rebranding boot camp. You need it. If you don't have a brand and you just have a business or a hobby, you need it. So let's talk about some ways that your brand, you don't have to build a broke brand. And your ability to build a brand that continues to generate revenue has a lot to do with the way you start. And the way you start, you got to start with money in mind, not meaning being greedy, not meaning being selfish. You got to start by asking yourself, what kind of brand am I going to be building? Am I building a brand for the masses, or am I building a luxury brand? Everything ain't for everybody. And you have to price it accordingly. $1 million doesn't care how it gets made. $1 million doesn't care if you sell 50,000 books at $20 each, or if you sell 5,000 products at $200 each, or if you sell 5,000 products at $2,000 each, or if you sell 500 products at $20,000 each. $1 million cares not how it gets made. So you have to make some choices as to where your product falls in the ability to charge a certain rate. And is this going to be a luxury product, or is this product going to be for the masses? When Payless Shoes was in its heyday, I'd have to venture they made as much money a year as Christian Louboutin. They probably made as much money a year as Jimmy Choo Shoes. And I know you may say, well, how can Payless make as much money as a Red Bottom? It's volume. Everybody's not walking around in Payless. Everybody's not walking around in Red Bottoms. Everybody was walking around in Payless. Hello? So I need you to think about who is your brand created to serve? And you've got to do that when you get started. Because if you don't define who your brand is created to serve, that's where you run into issues where you underprice your products and services. That's where you run into issues where you have brand confusion. You think that you're serving a luxury brand. Come on now. But you don't look luxury. So that's number one. You got to start with the intent of who you're going to serve versus how much money you're going to make. Number two, you got to look at your price in accordance to how much you're serving. A lot of you guys have one size fits all. I'll never forget, I met this event planner, and here's another problem we have. We don't be thinking we need no help. I met this event planner and I asked her how much did she charge for a wedding. She said, I charge $5,000, but I find the venue for you. I find the caterer for you. I find the cake for you. I find where you need to go get your dress. For $5,000, I do it all. And I looked at her and I told her, you're crazy. You are crazy. You think you charging a lot, but you're not. For $5,000, I'm not getting in my car in a hot Houston day and driving to the venue. Hello? And for $5,000, I'm not finding your dress. I'm not finding your caterer. I'm not finding your DJ. I'm not located. That's a $50,000. She was doing a $50,000 job. Somebody say, wow. She was doing $50,000 worth of work. And because, hey, Angela, because $5,000 was a lot for her, she thought the $5,000 was a lot. See, that's another thing you got to do. You got to get out your own pocket when you set your prices. Oh, I serve single mothers. And so because I serve single mothers, I'm going to keep my prices low. Well, who in the world said all single mothers are broke? Who in the world said, I know single mothers carrying more on their arms than you make in a year, or at least in a month or two. I know single moms that drive Bentleys. I know single moms that live in $1 million houses. So I don't know what single moms, you talking about yourself. Huh. See, that's what you're talking about. You're not talking about single moms over there. What you've done is you confused the way you live with the way everybody lives. And that's the worst mistake that you can make as a business owner. And those type of mistakes will keep you from becoming a brand. If you don't know how to price your products based on the amount of service that you're giving, you need help. Go to bit.ly/freewomenapp2020. Get your name in the hat. Let us help rebrand you, because a lifetime of chronic mispricing, a lifetime of chronic overservicing will lead to a lifetime where you're missing the $1 million mark over and over and over and over. Somebody say, ouch. I know I'm talking to somebody tonight. I know I'm talking to somebody right now that is doing too much, selling too much sugar for a dime. I know I'm talking to somebody right now that you call it going above and beyond, but seriously, what you're doing is cheating yourself and you're cheating your family out of the millions of dollars that they could have. You don't have the balls to charge what you're worth. That's ouch for somebody. So you blame it on the fact that people, you want to talk about the people. Oh, people don't want to pay me what I'm worth. No, you don't want to demand what you're worth. You don't have the balls to charge what you're worth. And I agree, it's scary until you have somebody sit you down and show you your value. And until you're willing to invest in that level of education that will show you how to get anybody. I want to do an example real quick before I move on. One of the most widely used products is water. Bottled water is one of the most widely used products nowadays. It is also one of the products with the biggest variances in price. I can go to the store and get a bottle of water like this. This is the store brand. Just happens to have a splash of orange in it. And I can pay 20 cents a bottle. Matter of fact, those come in a 6-pack. The last 6-pack I got was $1.80. That means I spent 30 cents for a bottle. So there's also sitting on the shelf right next to that bottle of water that I spent 30 cents for. There's bottles as same size, arguably the same water, because you don't, they can say that this water comes from the African springs, the Malaysian salt water. But you don't know you don't know if that water came out your tap. You don't know if that water came out of your municipal utility district. And so you pay 30 cents for a bottle of water. And at the end of the day, those bottles of water are going to do the same thing. They're all conditioned to hydrate the human body. And somebody else will sit up there. Somebody else will sit up there and pay $5 for one bottle of water. Let me change your physical location. Let me put you in a movie theater. Let me put you in a stadium. And you might pay $10 for that same bottle of water. Same bottle. Nothing different. Matter of fact, sometimes in the stadium, they even take the labels off of them. So when it's all said and done, you have to make sure that you're not that 30 cents bottle of water when you could be that $5 bottle of water in the club. Or you could be that $10 bottle of water in the stadium, or that 15 bottle of water at the Olympics. Somebody say, wow, because I know you have to get this. And somebody asked, well, why don't we know our worth? Because until you spend some time understanding not just your worth, take your worth out of it. Because I'm not a therapist. I don't know what happened to you in your childhood. I'm not trying to go back like that. I want to show you your business value. And until you learn the lesson of your value, you will continue to misinterpret your value, and you will continue to undercharge, and you will continue to not generate the revenue that is necessary for you to be free. You will continue giving things away. Something I always say about women is that if you put a meter on the back of the average woman, meaning you force her to charge her worth, the average woman would be a millionaire in 3 to 5 years because she doesn't have the opportunity to be beneath what she should be charging. If you automatically charge your community and automatically charge your friends and automatically charge the church and automatically charge, because you may make excuses about why you don't charge the church, but if the church go to Walmart, they pay. And if they go to Whole Foods, they pay. Come on now. They go to Target, they pay. So, and they got some people on payroll they pay. It's just not you. So we got to stop making excuses as to why we don't charge what we should charge, because those excuses are going to come back and be revisited on you one day. And if you haven't shared this broadcast, guys, this is a critical conversation for women. because somewhere along the way, we are losing our womanhood because we're losing our value. And it doesn't stop in just business. We are underpricing everything. Our companionship, undervalued. Our sexuality, undervalued. Our beauty, intellect, undervalued. And we've come to a place where we're just okay with being sex objects, and we're just okay being all out on Instagram with no clothes on, and we're just okay with being the baby mama, and we're just okay with being the side piece, and we're just okay. When in the hell are you going to stop being just okay? When are you going to stop being just okay with the way the world treats you? And it starts with how you envision yourself and how you love yourself and how you understand that, no, I'm far from perfect, but you're going to pay me for what I do well. No, I'm not the best at everything, but you're going to value me for what I bring to the table. And no, I didn't say I'm the smartest, the cutest, the thinnest, but what I am the best at is being me. And that's what you won't underestimate or undervalue. So that whole pricing thing, until you get that right, your business is going to scramble. Why? Because these next three things hinge on your ability to be able to charge your worth. And that's product availability. And some of you guys have inventory issues. Some of you guys have staffing issues. But if you're not spending the money you need, you can't make the money you need. Number one. Number two, aesthetics. You don't look luxury because you don't have the money it takes to invest into building a luxury brand, but you don't have the money that it takes because you won't charge what you're worth. So there's this vicious cycle of, I don't have enough money to invest in my business because I'm undercharging to begin with, and therefore I don't have the money to hire a coach. I don't have the money to hire a team. And even when I make more sales, I'm just breaking even. And even though I'm working harder, I still don't have the money to hire a team. I still don't have the money to bring in the right technology and the right automation. I still don't have the money to hire a coach because I'm still not charging my worth. And so there's this vicious cycle of being unable to scale your business to the next level of revenue because you won't charge what you're worth. And that's why coaching with me is more than just strategy. You can get strategy from anywhere until you have somebody really work with you on your mindset and your value. You will stay right where you are. I'm going to repeat that for the cheap seats. And not everybody can have this conversation. Not everybody can handle the fact that if your business is broke, it's your fault. Not everybody can sit through the conversation of, if your business is not making money, it's something you did wrong. You know, because the world gives us scapegoats. The world gives us excuses. Well, my business wasn't doing well because of the coronavirus. Okay, I get that initially, but how long did it take you to bounce back? How long did it take you to revamp? How long did it take you to turn the corner? Valid questions, right? So when you don't charge your worth, you can't invest in distribution, packaging. It keeps you regional versus national, international. You don't have international marketing plans, international team capacities. When you don't charge your worth, you don't have the money to look like your luxury. Do you guys remember that Payless experiment? Payless did an experiment right before they went out of business, where they bought some retail space in a high-end mall, named the shoe store Palesi, was charging $600 and $700 for them breakneck shoes. Because you know the number one thing with Payless shoes is they didn't have no support. Them shoes, baby, you couldn't walk a country mile in them shoes. You would literally break your ankle. Them shoes, baby, them shoes, you better sit real still. While you got, some of them look good because at the end, they went out and they got all these high-end designers to, you know, make the shoes look good. Especially a big girl like me. Oh, them shoes. Oh, no. No, ma'am. No. Them shoes will say no thanks. Them shoes will tap out on you before you tap out. Girl, you better off walk. You got more support walking barefoot than you got walking a pair of Payless shoes. But I digress. So they had done this experiment where they rented this space in this upscale mall. They named it Palesi. They said it was a new Italian designer. They priced the shoes $400 and up. And then they invited all of these influencers and celebrities, and they was in there buying them shoes. They was in there buying them shoes, baby, like it wasn't no tomorrow. These same exact shoes, you would barely pay $20 for a pair. They was paying $4, $5, $6, $7. And when they were interviewed and asked about the shoes, they talked about how high quality the shoes was and how they were cutting edge designs. And do y'all remember that? People, you got to understand people, and you got to understand money. People will pay more, and in their minds, they will justify paying more. People will pay more, and in their mind, they will justify, oh, well, I'm among the elite of the elite. Oh, I'm among, you know, the cream of the crop. Why do you think that we run out as Black people and buy all of these brands that weren't created for us or by us? Because it makes us feel special. In our mind, if we spend that much money on the product, it's got to be good, right? So until we understand that, we don't get this final principle tonight. And again, if you need help rebranding your business, don't miss the opportunity to work with us. bit.ly/freewomenapp2020. We have grants available, subsidies. Don't be calling my team talking about, well, I thought it was free. No, it's a grant subsidy. The boot camp is $10,000. We pay $9,000. You pay $1,000. My people, boy, my people. I love y'all though. I do. I love my people, but sometimes. And it's not all of them. It's not all of us, because some of us got some sense. But some of us, we've been poorly conditioned and we don't see it. Which brings me to my next principle, which is seed and harvest. When you don't sow major seed into your business, you can't expect to receive major seed from your business. I'm going to repeat myself. You can't go around investing $5 and $10 and $15 in your business and think that business is going to make you millions. It's not. You need to invest dollars to make hundreds, hundreds to make thousands, thousands to make millions. And that's just the way it goes. The Bible is very specific about seed and harvest. And I love the fact that we use the seed and harvest analogy, because the same is true for a farmer. How can you expect a bigger crop when you don't buy more seeds? How can you expect a bigger crop if you don't get more land to plant the seeds on? There's only so many seeds you can plant per square foot. How do you expect a bigger crop? Come on now, if you don't want to buy more pest control. How do you expect a bigger crop if you don't want to buy more fertilizer? If you don't want to create an environment with a better irrigation system, if you don't upgrade your tools so that you have a tractor that will cover the acres that you have now, how do you, in a million years, think that you're just going to up? I don't care how hard you work. Let's take hard work out of the equation, can we? Some of you guys think that hard work will replace strategy and good old-fashioned investing in your business, and it won't. It won't. You have to spend money to make money. So bottom line, you want a bigger farm? You got to buy more land. Somebody say amen. You want a bigger farm? You've got to have more seeds. You can't plant 1,000 seeds and think you're going to get 2,000 pieces of fruit. You're lucky if you get 800. You cannot take the seeds, 1,000 seeds, and plant them in the same space that you planted 500. They're not going to grow. They're going to choke each other out. You can't use that same hoe and back axe to till your garden. When it was 1 acre versus when it's 100 acres, you're going to need a tractor. You can't use that same water hose to irrigate 500 acres. Stop acting like you don't understand. You understand very well. It takes money to make money. You want to be an anomaly. You want to be that person that says, I got started with $5. And yes, you can start with 5. But when you make 15, then you need to spend 10. And when you make 25, then you need to spend 15. Hello? And when you make 100, then you need to spend 40. And when you make 1,000, you need to spend 400. And when you make 5,000, you need to spend 1,000. And until you do, we spent $189,000 last year on payroll. Until you do. You want to generate $1 million business? Start spending money. Start spending money on things like strategy. Start spending money on things like technology. Start spending money hiring a coach so you can stop making bad decisions and poor mistakes. And so you can stop spending money on things that don't matter. Every business expense is not a good expense. Not. And you got some accountants out there that will tell you, oh, you don't need coaching. Since when does your accountant run your expenses? If you're my accountant, I need you to do your job and get on that calculator and add and subtract and let it be that. So you got to understand that if you want to make money, you got to spend money. And if you don't, it's okay. But don't expect to have supersized earnings when you don't have a supersized investment in your business. So guys, again, you don't have to be broke in business. You got to start with the money in mind. Are you going to be a luxury brand? Or are you going to be for the masses? You got to have your products priced right. You can't be over delivering and undercharging. You got to make sure that you have the money to invest in national and international marketing and branding versus regional. Because sometimes them regions ain't going to identify with you as world class. You got to make sure your aesthetics, does your brand look like a luxury brand? I'm not going to pay you luxury prices if your marketing looks like it was done by a 5-year-old with a crayon. And that's just the truth. Some things we're not good at. If you're not an expert at graphics, hire someone. That goes to that seed and harvest. Stop trying to do so many things in your business, because the way your business is set up, your business website, your business infrastructure, all of that tells a tale as to how much you've invested in your business. Are you really a luxury business? Which brings us to the last one. You have to spend money to make money. You got to spend dollars to make tens, tens to make hundreds, hundreds to make thousands, thousands to make millions. And if you're not willing to make that investment in your farm, your harvest will not grow. You've seen in harvest. You want a certain number of eggs, you got to buy more chickens. You want a certain number of a certain amount of milk, you got to buy more cows. You want to create more bacon, you got to invest in more pigs. That's a universal principle, and that's why I love the fact that the Bible uses it, is because you want more pumpkins, you got to buy more seeds. You can't be cheap in business, because that's going to make you broke in business. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. Time is running out for you to take advantage of our rebranding bootcamp grant, bit.ly/freewomenapp2020. Make sure you read all the details. It is not a handout. It is a hand up. And we'll be back tonight at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time to talk about Black Girl Coin. Don't miss it. www.blackgirlcoins.com. A serious conversation about how we're getting left out of the wealth.